Previously on RWA Rebirth.
Jevon?
Where were you in the account mayhem?
Well, it wouldn't have really been fair if I entered my own competition, so I decided not to.
Oh well, Mr. Too Good For Your Own Series. I think we ought to have a little conversation whereby I punch your robots in the face with mine.
Seeing as though you're here, it's on.
And now, the conclusion. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the much anticipated RWA vs Grand Slam special. That's right, RWA has been invaded by World of Woodrow and his fan-made Robot Wars series Grand Slam. He's brought along 6 of his best robots to take over. Thankfully, however, we have 6 of our deadliest robots to match his. But before we get into the battles, let's have a quick introduction to the 2 series creators.
Hello, my name is Jevon Woodrow, otherwise known as World of Woodrow on YouTube. Subscribe to me. I run a series called Grand Slam over on my channel, and I've been doing that for just over a year now. It's coming up to its 2nd series, and I'm very much looking forward to getting started on it. But I thought I'd pop down to Southampton to show this old dog some new tricks. I've got much respect for Anderson. He's been doing this a long old time, but I feel like I'm one of the new kids on the block, and I want to prove myself against the best, so Anderson, I'm coming for you, mate.
Hey guys, I'm Anderson9132, I'm the Robot Wars Guru. This is my YouTube channel, as you all know. I have 2 main series. One is Robot Wars Guru, which is the Robot Wars discussion series. The other is, of course, RWA Rebirth, which is a reboot of my old family Robot Wars series, Robot Wars Armageddon. This is, without a doubt, one of the toughest things I'm ever going to do, taking on a whole other series and their machines. It's something I've dreamed of doing ever since back in the original days. Unfortunately, it never happened, so I really am looking forward to this, but I'm also a little bit nervous. I think I bring experience to the table. I've been doing this for a hell of a long time now. Not only did I do the original RWA on YouTube, I've been doing it since I was basically 6. I've been building robots all my life, or models of robots all my life, from a vast variety of different materials and building styles over the years, some big, some small, some medium. So I'm hoping that that will help me out here. But I'm up against Jevon, and he's pretty good. I've got a lot of respect for Jevon. His machines are brilliant. Even if he is a new kid on the block, you would never guess it. He looks like he's been building for years. He's a good guy. He's got a great series, he does great videos. But I'm sorry, Woody, you're going down.
They both have huge respect for each other, that much is obvious. However, there is no time for pleasantries in the RWA Warzone, and there must be a winner. Now, each series will be represented by 6 machines, and each will be sorted into 6 head-to-head battles, with the winning series being the one who gains the most victories. Let's see which robots each creator is entering.
So I've got some decent robots lined up. First of all, my sort of old dog is Thermidor 2. I picked this one because I'm from Norfolk myself. They are the Norfolk lads, and I'll support them all the way home, so go Thermidor 2. Next up is a robot that competed in the account Mayhem, which is Redux. Now, I'll be honest, until today I haven't actually held this one or had it in my hand, so not sure how well it'll do, but I think Anderson's done a fantastic job of building this one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this front hinge flipper go to victory, really. Next up we have Mickey Mouse Operation, and I had to build this one and I had to bring it because it's daft, isn't it? It's just daft, it's silly, but it's also highly competitive. It very nearly beat Apollo in my series. It can self-right from any angle, literally any angle. I've tested them all. It can self-right from every single one of them. So I think this one's going to be a decent one to fight with. Then I've brought to the table a brand new version of Extremis, which is going to stick around for Anderson's series. everyone knows the Extremist from my series. It is a beast, second place robot, highly destructive, really gonna wreck your bots. And last couple, I've brought Terraphobia to the table, which is a pretty fearsome crusher. It's possibly one of my favourite builds that I've ever done because it just looks majestic, if I'm not tooting my own trumpet too much. It's got obviously a crusher, it's sort of Spectre style crusher, and a self-writer, so it shouldn't fail me. I do worry about the wedges though, so we'll see. And lastly, the king is here to conquer all. Shadowcat, the champion of my series from Series 1. He's not a lie. He's here to defeat everyone, anyone. We're going to win, probably, so long as I don't use my brain, because then we'll not.
Well, Jeb has bought quite a big onslaught of machines, it has to be said, but don't worry, I've got my own tricks up my own sleeve. First of all, Cassius 3, champion of Season 1 of RWA Rebirth, also two-time world champion. Got a big flipper, very powerful. It is looking a bit old now, I'm not going to lie, but what do they say? Old dogs don't lie. Next up is a new machine, which is going to be featuring in RWA Rebirth Series 3, and it's called Ultimate Force. It's an original Sin based machine, 4-wheel drive. It's got a clamper. It's going to grab a whole robot, slam him into the sidewall, house robots, throw him in the pit. Jevon, you got no chance going up against this, my friend. Next, a replica. Apparently a very good one. It's Beta, if you couldn't tell. Made out of Connect, so it's got a solid chassis, solid card armour, it's shiny. Beauty kills the beast, we all know that. Jevon, watch out, this is going to turn your robots into a pancake, mate. Next up, a robot that didn't really get its chance to shine as much as it should have in the Christmas special, so I brought it back. Hopefully here it can do a lot better. Primeval. Look at that scalpel blade. They use that to slice people up. This is going to slice Jevon's robots up. Nice classic wedge shape, sturdy build. This is going to just go straight through anything that he brings to the table. It wouldn't be an RWA special if I didn't have Atlas representing RWA. Although it hasn't been the most successful machine in my series, it's definitely got a following, including Jevon himself. How about I take what you love and use it against you, Jevon? It's got the big scoop, it's got these new extensions to help itself right, and of course, last but by no means least, my team captain representing my series. The most successful machine in RWA history, well, the most successful team anyway. It's Killer 3. Rebuilt the flipper from the last war so it can get under robots a lot better. It's still powerful, still really strong, double flipper, low to the ground. They were close to finally regaining another title last time. This time, not only are they going to win the series, I hope, but they're going to take Grand Slam and wipe the floor with it.
And in our first head-to-head, we have newcomers Ultimate Force representing RWA going up against Redux representing Grand Slam. Ultimate Force is actually a new machine that has yet to compete in RWA, with their debut being in Rebirth 3. However, they wanted the chance to prove themselves in this special. Meanwhile, Redux represented World of Woodrow in the RWA account Mayhem, making it to the Grand Finals, before losing to Mastrav 3. Because of this experience, they have to be the favourites going into this one.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And we are off with the first clash of RWA versus Grand Slam. What a special this is going to be. A good flip there by Redux straight away on Ultimate Force. Remember, Ultimate Force want to prove something here because they are newcomers. They're going to be newcomers in Rebirth Series 3, but they're not really doing much. Meanwhile, Redux, whilst never competing in Grand Slam, has represented World of Woodrow in the account Mayhem. Made it to the finals, actually. Lost to eventual champions Mastrav 3, so no disgrace there. Good fight this so far. They are on top. Ultimate Force trying to get that grabbing jaw into play, I guess you could say, in that four-wheel drive, but Redux easily exploiting the side ground clearance. They are exposed at the sides, and they can't run very well upside down. Now they're in the CBW with Glade. Down comes Glade's axe on the base plate, and again. Not too sure how much damage has been caused there to Ultimate Force, who, let's be honest, have been, owned in this battle, it has to be said. I think they lost their front wedge as well. And on the floor flipper now, getting thrown away, and their claws come off. Now that might make manoeuvrability a bit better for them when upside down, or will it? They seem to have stopped dead in their tracks. The pit release button has been pressed by Redux. Down goes the pit. A bit skew it has to be said, but still doesn't matter. They all count, don't they? And meanwhile, Ultimate Force on the verge of the pit, and now Morrow coming in for the count and is counting them down and out. And that's a shame, they didn't really get going, did they? Ultimate Force in the down the pit as well. And that was a very good performance by Redux there, doing Grand Slam. Very, very proud. There is the official finish, I guess you could say, for Ultimate Force. Redux spins in celebration, and now cleaning up the rubbish by the looks of things. Yeah, seems to be anyway. Pushing it towards Glade, and Glade now feasting on that grabbing job. But what a performance there by Redux. That's a 1-0 start to Grand Slam. Well, Ultimate Force never really had a chance to get going, did they? Redux were happy to exploit the exposed sides, and then it was a simple KO victory for Grand Slam. So far then, it's 1-0 to Grand Slam, but fear not, as the next battle sees an absolute clash of legends as Cassius 3 represents RWA against Grand Slam's Thermidor. Cassius 3 are not only legends of RWA, but legends of robot combat in general, being major competitors in the first 3 series of Robot Wars. In RWA, they're 2-time world champions and RWA Rebirth 1 champions, so a sure favourite to win here. But don't count Thermidor out. They too have Robot Wars experience, competing in both the classic and rebooted Robot Wars series. In the classic series they made 2 semi-finals, however it's their Grand Slam performance that stands out, making it to the Grand Final, defeating eventual runners-up Extremis 2 on the way. So watch out for these guys.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
A real good tussle here between 2 legends of Robot Wars past. Cassius 3 versus Thermidor 2. And Thermidor thrown in the air there by Cassius 3, showing its power there. Cassius 3, such a legendary robot in RWA, but look at the power of Thermidor, and do not count them out. Grand Slam Series 1 Grand Finals, but they are going up against our reigning world champions and former reigning champions, it has to be said. But Cassius 3 upside down now and trying to self-right, and does so in fine style, and now getting nothing but underneath and throwing Thermidor up and over. Thermidor's self-righting seems to be more reliable than Cassius's, it has to be said. Cassius's self-righting is a little bit all over the place, mainly because of the power of the flipper. And Cassius 3 for me are on top here! Oh, what an upset though! As Thermidor managing to get an almighty flipper on Cassius 3 out of nowhere, sending them over the wall. What a win for Thermidor! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very convincing win as well. There's Cassius 3 on the outside of the arena. Thermidor win the match for Grand Slam. Well done to them. An absolute shocker here, it has to be said. Cassius 3 on top and in control, but one quick flip from Thermidor was all it took. Well done, Grand Slam. So we go into Battle 3, 2-0 down. Speaking of which, it's time for the heavy hitters as Beta will take on Grand Slam legends Mickey Mouse Operation. Beta has yet to compete in RWA Rebirth, but has had success in the American show BattleBots. The team, however, are better known in the RWA as the ones responsible for Kilohertz, former semi-finalists and even one-time runners-up. However, in Rebirth they have yet to really match their former success, so the team are trying out Beta to see if they can get a better run. Mickey Mouse Operation, meanwhile, competed in Series 1 of Grand Slam, winning their opening melee before losing out to eventual Heat finalists Apollo. Here's hoping they can put on a great performance here.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
A real good battle of the hammers here. Oh, and down comes Beta's hammer and they flick themselves over. That's how powerful Beta's hammer is. It's capable of flipping itself over. Mickey Mouse Operation now, look, has the axe down into the internal section of Beta. I wonder how much damage that's doing to their motors, to their electronics. Meanwhile, Beta holding on for dear life, but being shrugged off there now by Mickey Mouse Operation MMO, if you want to call it. Now Beta coming in on the back though and getting at those exposed wheels, the exposed tyres, and they are in the CPZ with Nail, and she is hungry and trying to crumple down on Mickey Mouse Operation side there. Very strong chassis, very strong exoskeleton, but don't forget, very little armour, so the internals will be exposed, just like Beta's are as well, and both of us now being flipped over by the floor flipper! Now, are they able to self-right here, both machines? Mickey Mouse Operation, they say can self-right from every angle, so too can Beta, but neither robot self-righting. In comes Malfunction for a little bit of a flick to see if you can get any movement out of them. But as you can see, no movement whatsoever from either machine. I think they're locked together. Yes, they are. And Morrow is counting out both machines here. This is a double KO situation. What's going to happen here, I wonder? Oh, wow. Double count out. In comes Malfunction for another bit of a flick. And now they're separate, but it's far too late. What are the judges going to say about that? So both robots ended up immobile at the same time. The judges have stopped the clock and requested a restart with the remaining time left. Both teams have agreed to go again, so let's get back to the arena.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And so the restart begins. I can't believe that happened. Both machines stuck together, couldn't self-right, so they've had to restart the battle with the remaining time left. Mickey Mouse Operation thrown there by Malfunction, but self-righting very well. Up in the air, though, goes Beta on the floor flipper again. It's caught them out already several times. And now down comes Beta's hammer, though, on the wheels and on the tyres of Mickey Mouse Operation. Beta being pushed around. Mickey Mouse Operation, you know, is a very interesting, very well-designed machine. It's big, it's bulky, it's got a very good weapon, and it can self-right from pretty much any angle, as we've heard before, so of course it's a very effective machine. But I think damage has been done to their axe. I'm not too sure, not to have a look back there. Yes, you can, look, see it there, look. Inside Beta, the axe tip is of Mickey Mouse Operation. Beta, though, being crumpled into by Nail, so they've also received damage. But now, look there, the very tip of Mickey Mouse Operations' weapon has come off, so they can't cause any damage. And this is a major opportunity for Beta, who just decided to throw themselves over, because of course they do. And Malfunction now flicking up Mickey Mouse Operation, but as I said momentarily ago, it can self-right from any position. But Beta now surely have got the advantage. But Mickey Mouse Operation not letting up, and another flip. There's the tip, look. It came out of Beta there, you saw it on the floor. Down comes Mickey Mouse Operations axe once again, and now using it as a way of sort of guiding and controlling Beta as cease is called, and it will go to the judges. Well, that was a great battle, very close throughout, with both machines using their weapons effectively, good control and aggression shown throughout too. This will be a tough one for the judges. So the results are in, and as you can see, MMO just win by the skin of their teeth. They lost on damage, but won on both control and aggression. Well done to them. Beta will be disappointed with that, however. Next up, a battle of dangerous weaponry as Primeval from RWA take on the mighty Extremists of Grand Slam. This should be a good fight. Primeval is another new machine looking to prove themselves before Rebirth 3, and with a crusher like that, I can see them doing so. However, you have to consider Extremist the favourite for this fight. Whilst this is a different machine to their Grand Slam entry, specially built for RWA, it is based off the same design. That horizontal flywheel brought them huge success in Grand Slam Series 1, causing serious damage to several robots and placing second overall. Watch out for these guys.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Two very different types of robot going up against each other here. Extremist with that huge horizontal flywheel, and Primeval with that huge overhead vertical crushing jaw, and crushing into the top of Extremist. Look at that, going through it as if it was nothing. That is incredible. That is so strong, such a deadly weapon, and now into the same CPU as Brick, and Extremists are in trouble here. This is not the same Extremist machine that came second in Grand Slam Series 1, but it is a machine from the same team that will be competing in RWA in the future, hence the different shape and size of the machine. But just look at that flywheel though, trying to cause damage but bouncing off. Primeval, very well armoured it would seem. It is made of Lego, which is a very tough armour, and there's the crushing claw once again going into the top of Extremist and now plucking it into the air. But is it me, or is Primeval's crushing claw bending under the pressure? Look, it has, look at that! But the pit release button has now been pressed and destroyed by Primeval, it has to be said. So down goes the pit. They've got a perfect opportunity here now to pit Extremis if they can get them in the pit. The release button's gone in, but Extremis are now free. Extremis are now free, and we'll have to do major damage and have to do a major comeback here because they are so far behind on points, it has to be said. But that spinner, do not count it out. It is deadly, it is destructive, it's made of metal, and going now for the exposed wheels of Prime Evil, but Prime Evil pushing them back now in towards Katrina's CPZ, our Queen of the Storm with that spinning bar. And meanwhile, I think, yes, look there, the damage now to Prime Evil's weapon. They can no longer crush. That claw has bent in on itself, so they're going to have to rely on their wedge and their driving capabilities. Oh, I don't think the claw's come off. It has, look at that. Well, what a breakthrough there for Extremis, because they were really losing this one on the damage points, but may have very well pulled it out of the bag now. But remember, that's not the only criterion. Into the CPZ now with Brick once again. Extremis now on the very verge. Oh my goodness me, surely they can't get back from there. They are on the verge. What are Prime Evil doing? They did not take advantage, and Extremis managing to get away once again. Oh man alive, someone's looking down on them. Surely. They must have had some really good luck spirit there. What did they do? Have a pint with an Irishman beforehand? Meet this leprechaun? I'm sorry, anyone who's Irish, that was a terrible joke. Meanwhile, now, Extremis is on the comeback. Oh, look there! The front wedge has been destroyed of Prime Evil. We're in the final few moments of this battle. One of the wheel hubs is gone as well. And Extremis are coming back, and coming back well, but pushing back once again there, Prime Evil, as cease is called, and it's going to go to the judges. What a fight that was. Well, this has to be one of the deadliest battles we've ever had in RWA. The fact that both machines made it to the judges is a minor miracle. A battle of two halves, it has to be said. Prime Evil on top throughout, but Extremis came back strong towards the end. I really wouldn't want to be a judge in this one. But they have made a decision, and it's gone to Extremis. The damage and aggression in the final half of the battle really was the deciding factor. That's an unlucky loss for Prime Evil. Next up though, we have a future RWA legend as Atlas takes on Grand Slam's Terraphobia. Atlas are future legends purely because they have a great mix of design and weaponry. The tracked drive and huge bucket scoop are a force to be reckoned with, and they proved it by making it to the semi-finals in Rebirth 2. Terraphobia, meanwhile, have yet to compete in Grand Slam, but they sure do look the part with their deadly crushing jaw and effective stream-mech.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Terraphobia have a hell of a fight here. They are a completely new machine, and they're going up against a robot that has made it to a Series semi-final. It made it to the semi-finals of Series 2 of Rebirth. They are a returning seed. They will be seeded 13th for the main competition of Rebirth 3, and Terraphobia are in all sorts of problems here. Atlas are definitely in control of this one. In comes Brick there with a slam, and Terraphobia are going to have to self-right. They are a completely new machine, remember. They have yet to compete in Grand Slam. They're going to be in Grand Slam Series 2. Now they're righted, but that wasn't through any help of their own. And down comes that claw, though, onto the bucket scoop. So that's the tactic, obviously. Get a hold of that bucket scoop, do damage to it, and then they can't get a hold of them. Oh, and also try and look, just to munch in on the tracks. But Terraphobia! Oh, for a minute I thought Atlas was going to be pushing them down the pit there. Brick seems to have some damage onto its front wedge. Not too sure how that happened. Terraphobia now coming in on the side, trying to grab a hold of those tracks once again and munching in. But they are very sturdy tracks, don't forget, on Atlas. But if Terraphobia does a good bit of driving here, they could have them down the pit, but they let them go instead because, well, why wouldn't they? Going in for another silent assault there, Atlas, and once again throwing Terraphobia up and over. So there's Terraphobia's self-rider mechanism, but can it right the machine? I'm not too sure if it can! And Atlas could very well have a win on its hands here, as long as it keeps the pressure on against Terraphobia. Now into Nail's CPZ, and in comes Nail, crumpling down there onto that wheel, and I'm wondering just how much damage that's going to do to that wheel. I think it's just popped. Look at that, yes, you can just see there, it popped it off the axle, which means that wheel has now no longer got any power going to it. Meanwhile, now they're crumpling into Atlas's tracks. those tracks have really showed it. They've definitely improved them, haven't they, over the years? I remember when Dogmeat took them off in Rebirth Series 1. But Terraphobia in all sorts of problems here. That one wheel will no longer work, I don't think, which means they're going to be stuck going around in circles. And unfortunately in RWA, that counts as an immobilization. If you cannot move outside of a certain perimeter, you are done for. And that definitely seems to be the situation here for Terraphobia. Rolled up and over once again. The self-ride mechanism hasn't been the most reliable of things throughout this one. They had a few chances early on to end it early, but chose to keep the battle going, and I think that's what cost them in the end. It really must be. And there, now, the Count of Morrow will surely start. Yes, and Terraphobia are done for here. Atlas, very, very good performance there from them. I'm looking forward to seeing them in Rebirth 3, it has to be said, but that's it, I'm afraid. Oh, 58? 58? Are you okay there, Morrow? What's going on there? That's not 0. What on earth? Oh, whatever. Meanwhile, Nail now coming in. She's hungry. She wants a little bit of a snack, and she's going to snack on Terraphobia. Very good looking machine. Very interesting looking machine. I look forward to seeing how well it does in Grand Slam, to be honest, but they're in the pit here. Down and out. Counted down and immobilised. And Atlas finally picking up a win for RWA. That was just pure bullying by Atlas, easily lifting and shoving Terraphobia around the arena, but it was Nail that did the major damage, causing the wheel to pop out of place, which proved to be Terraphobia's undoing. Along with the pit, of course. So we've seen some really good fights between some really good robots, but now it's time for the battle of the team captains. RWA Legends Killer 3 will captain the home team, whilst Grand Slam Legends Shadowcat will captain the away team. What a fight this will be! Killer 3 is the third instalment of the legendary Killer machines from Team Killer. They are the most successful team to ever enter RWA. However, since RWA became televised, they have yet to win a series. Still, they are no slouch and even came second in RWA Rebirth 2. Shadowcat, meanwhile, is a stealthy control bot. Its design is near impenetrable and its drive and control are top notch. There's a reason this machine are the reigning Grand Slam champions, winning Grand Slam Series 1, beating Extremis 2 in the final. Need I say more?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
It's time for the team captains to square off. Grand Slam Series 1 winner Shadowcat versus RWA Rebirth Series 2 winners of Killer 3, and Shadowcat flipped immediately, and I don't think they can self-right from that position. Oh, another huge... Oh, goodness me, I thought that was it already. I thought that Shadowcat went out the arena then, but they were able to land back on their wheels, and now look at this, using that lifter as a grabber. The pit release button has been pressed, so down goes the pit, and can Killer 3 get out of the way here? Yes, they can. They just managed to escape. One heck of a fight here. Oh, and Shadowcat being thrown now into the CPZ with Glade trying to self-right, but they're stuck. Killer 3, a very favourite robot to do well in Rebirth 3, and it's hard to argue with it, really. What a huge flip there, and Killer 3 picking up the final victory of the special. What a performance there. Shadowcat didn't really get a chance, did they? There they are out of the arena now, which is a shame for them. But well done to Killer 3 for picking up the final victory. Well, that was a true spectacle for sure. Flipping good stuff from Killer 3, and while Shadowcat gave it a good go, they were ultimately outmatched by the flipper of Killer 3. So the final score of the episode is a 4-2 victory to Grand Slam. Well done to World of Woodrow, I'm sure his robots did him very proud. However, before we go, we have just enough time for a bonus fight. It's a grudge match. Let's have a look back at memory lane and see why. It all stemmed from the bot builder's account mayhem. Anderson 9132's Guru met World of Woodrow's Crikey, and after a tough, hard-fought battle, Crikey, whilst attempting to self-right, threw themselves out of the arena. They claim it wasn't a real victory for Guru, and they want a rematch.
The bot builder built me a robot for his account mayhem, and it went out in round 1. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I demand retribution, a rematch between my Crikey, because I have my own, and that man's Guru.
So, Jevon turns out is a little bit of a wet wipe. He's a bit of a salty boy. Can't handle that he lost fair and square to a superior robot. Fine. I've built my own guru, and this time, Jevon, there's not going to be any, I beat myself nonsense, because this robot ain't going to let you do that. It's got the lifting forks, it's got a Shree-Mech, 6-wheel drive with drawn-on LED blue lights. It's going to do the business. Watch out, Jevon, because, trust me, mate, you're going to need to. Crikey, schmikey, Guru's got this all the way.
So here we have it, the bonus battle to end a serious grudge. It's Guru versus Crikey.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Heck of a grudge match this one too. Very similarly designed machines, has to be said. They're both compact. Both of them are very good pushes. Both of them have got lifting weapons as well. Guru though throwing Crikey over, but Crikey self-righting. This is one heck of a fight already building up here. This is always going to be a really, really good one. Oh goodness me, what a flick there from the Bobby, but Crikey nearly out the arena straight away. Guru for me are on top at the moment, but Crikey now pushing them back into Glade's CPZ. Can Guru get out of there, or are there lifting forks stuck in the arena sidewall? Down comes Jackson Glade. No. Guru managing to get away from there. Crikey trying to get that flipper underneath and throwing them up and over nearly into the pit release button. Can Guru self-right here? Yes, they can. They are invertible. They don't need to self-right every single time. And Crikey on the ball. Oh, they've got again! They've got again, and Guru have won once again! And World of Woodrow cannot believe it! He is absolutely devastated! I mean, well, I'm very happy with that, of course. But Guru have done it again. And unfortunately, Crikey could not gain revenge this time. What a fight! Well, it's a shame that fight ended as abruptly as it did, but Guru have made the overall score between these two 2-0. I'm not sure how happy Crikey or World of Woodrow are with that win, but the stats don't lie.
So after, well, much fun in games and lots of destruction, this Git won overall.
Yes, but it was a good game, and well played, Anderson.
Well done, mate. Well done. It was good fun.
I look forward to the rematch.
So do I. So do I. I won't go so easy on you.
No.
So yeah, are we spoiling who we might be using for the next one? Or should we keep it under our chest?
Yeah, I think keep it.
Yeah,
keep it a little bit secret.
Keep it a little secret for now. Probably because we don't know when we're actually going to be filming.
Yeah, I've not got a clue who I'm using, when I'm using them.
I know one, and I'm not saying it.
No.
Although, to be honest, I think anyone with half a brain could probably guess who it is. But yeah, well done, man. Good
Thank you
fun.
very much. I'm going to go and
Thanks for joining me.
throw this out the window now.
Yes, I don't blame you. Go and have fun with that, and I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. See you later. Bye-bye.
Get stuffed!
A big thank you and congratulations to World of Woodrow for making this special a possibility and for taking the win with an overall battle record of 4-3. And I'm sure there's going to be a rematch in the near future. Thank you all for watching. I've been Anderson9132, and I'll see you next time.